Hey everyone, I'm Jase Peeples, entertainment editor for The Advocate. This week marks the release of DC's series headlined by out gay superhero Midnighter. Plus, June is LGBT Pride Month, so we figured this was the perfect time to look back at the history of LGBT characters in the DC universe. Comic books mirror the world around us, so it's natural that they represent our culture's diversity in gender, race, and sexual orientation. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender characters have long been a part of the DC universe, but their depiction wasn't always accepted. The Comics Code Authority was established in 1954 to regulate the content of comic books. Among other restrictions, the code banned any references to homosexuality. This resulted in the absence of gay characters, stories, and themes from the majority of publishers in the comics industry for over 30 years. But DC came out of the closet in the 80s, when the gay community was making waves in popular American culture. Estreno, one of the first gay superheroes in comic book history, first appeared in 1988 and was characterized by a flamboyant personality and colorful outfits. In his most notable storyline, he was attacked by a vampire with AIDS called the Hemogoblin, and later was revealed to be HIV positive. In hindsight, some see Estreno as a cringeworthy stereotype, but one could argue that because it was forbidden for the character to be openly gay, the only way for a writer to communicate that a character's sexuality was anything other than straight was for him to fit into stereotypes that readers could understand. Shortly after Estreno broke down industry barriers, DC again tipped its hat to the gay community in a ripped from the headlines story featuring an AIDS rally in 1988's The Spectre No. 11. In the book, superheroes save the protesters from an attack by the cult of the Blood Red Moon. And in the same year, we saw the first implicitly lesbian character at DC, who was also the first gay parent in a mainstream comic, Superman's Maggie Sawyer. In issue number 15, Maggie tells Superman her backstory. Her past involves a daughter and a failed marriage, and Maggie makes several allusions to the fact that she's a lesbian, including being confused, coming to terms with herself, and running away from who she was by marrying a man. The following year, writer John Ostrander provided a progressive take on the Catholic Church's relationship with homosexuality. In 1989's Suicide Squad number 31, Father Kramer counsels Mitch Sokovsky, the mechanic for Task Force X and a gay father, to help him cope with an unaccepting son. DC also exposed the tragedies of gay bashing in a 1988 Hellblazer storyline in which Constantine's friends are beaten and hospitalized by homophobes. And in a separate story, Swamp Thing number 74, the title character must rescue Constantine from a similar group of gay bashers. Additionally, John Constantine himself was revealed as bisexual in 1992's Hellblazer number 51. Later, writer Ray Fox confirmed the character's attraction to both genders in New 52 continuity in 2014. In the 90s, several notable characters joined the LGBT community. Pied Piper played a gay tune as DC's first out villain in 1991. On the heroic side, Justice League America's Ice Maiden played for both teams, as confirmed when she officially came out as bisexual in 1996. And in 1998, DC reached a make-out milestone with its first same-sex lip lock between bisexual Starman and his boyfriend Tony. A few years later, DC tackled the gay experience head-on in an eloquent, extended Green Lantern storyline written by Judd Winnick. Kyle Rayner's teenage assistant, Terry Berg, awkwardly comes out to him, and Kyle gently reassures Terry that being gay is not a choice, nor is there anything wrong with it. Shortly thereafter, Terry relays the challenge of coming out to his parents. They cried, told him it was a phase, and threatened to throw him out of the house. While the subsequent hate crime story arc is decidedly poignant and uplifting, it is perhaps also the most unsettling part of Terry's story. Terry is brutally beaten into a coma by 3 homophobes. Enraged, Kyle tracks down the attackers and violently confronts them. The bigots are brought to justice, and Kyle learns a valuable lesson in taking a stand against intolerance. These stories won Green Lantern the GLAAD Award for Outstanding Comic 2 years in a row. After the turn of the millennium, DC's diversity continued to expand. In 2003, Detective Renee Montoya, who later became the Question, was famously outed in Gotham Central No. 6 by Two-Face. While the outing was a huge turning point for Renee, it's notable that she was a main, well-rounded character whose sexuality was a part of her story, but not her only trait. In 2006, Catwoman was established as a lesbian in 52 No. 7, making her the most high-profile gay superhero at DC to date. And in 2011, DC made Batwoman the first ever lesbian hero to headline a mainstream comic series as a part of its New 52 reboot. A year and a half later, DC featured the first lesbian engagement in mass-market comics history in Batwoman No. 17. In October 2011, writer Gail Simone revealed online that Catman fell somewhere in the middle of the Kinsey scale, making him one of the most prominent bisexual men in DC continuity. Simone finally established Catman as bi in proper continuity in 2015's Secret Six. 2011 also saw Miguel Jose Barragan, aka Bunker, become the first openly gay teenager at DC in Teen Titans #3. The following year, DC launched the Earth 2 ongoing title, this time reimagining Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, as gay. In Earth 2 #2, Alan shares a kiss with his boyfriend, then proposes to him on a train. Alan's fiancée is tragically killed in the same train wreck that gives Alan his powers. He is told he must use an object of importance to him to harness his power, and uses the very ring he proposed to Sam with as his new lantern ring. Sam later comes back as a wind wraith to support Alan, but that's another story. In 2013, Gail Simone broke down closet doors again in Batgirl #19 by introducing Barbara's roommate, Alicia Yeoh, the first openly transgender character in a mass-market superhero comic. And finally, the Catwoman storyline earlier this year featured Selena Kyle showing some love for the ladies with a same-sex smooch. DC continues to break new ground by launching Midnighter's solo title, the first DC comic headlined by a gay male superhero. Midnighter was never in the closet. He and his boyfriend Apollo were among the first openly gay characters in print back in 1998. The word gay was not explicitly used, but it was obvious. Their relationship was confirmed when Apollo kissed Midnighter on the cheek in 1999. In 2002, 2 years before Massachusetts became the first state to legalize same-sex marriage, The Authority #29 featured the first gay wedding in a mainstream comic between Midnighter and Apollo, and they adopted a little girl named Ginny in the very same issue to boot. This brief history is by no means exhaustive, so tell us who your favorite LGBT characters are in the comments. One thing is for certain though, the expanding roster of LGBT characters only makes the DC universe stronger and more inclusive. We hope to see more dynamic storytelling starring compelling characters from diverse backgrounds. Indeed, the future of the multiverse depends on it.
Our thanks to Jase Peeples from The Advocate for helping us out today.
And if you want more info on Jase or The Advocate, check out the links in the description below.
I'd also like to advocate that you click subscribe to DC All Access.
See what he did there?
Wordsmiths.